everyone, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be reviewing the game, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game on PC. In 2014, SpongeBob came out with its first ever movie. It's the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, or why is it called SpongeBob Saves the Crown. The movie will revolve around Mr. Krabs opening up the Krusty Krab 2 and Plankton and going to King Neptune's castle to steal King Neptune's crown and frame Mr. Krabs. King Neptune comes and freezes Mr. Krabs, and SpongeBob and Patrick only have 6 days to get back King Neptune's crown before Mr. Krabs gets fried. So SpongeBob and Patrick are set out on a journey to head to Shell City to get Mr. Krabs' crown back for the movie. Well, with that movie came with a game, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game, based off the movie. Now the movie had 3 different versions. They had the console versions, which are playable on Xbox, Wii, Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2. And then the other ones were on PC and the Game Boy Advance. Today we're going to be focusing on the PC point-and-click adventure game. And made by Awe Games, AWE Games, who ended up making the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game here on PC. This is a point-and-click adventure game, unlike the platformer we got from Heavy Iron Studios. This would be the first ever point-and-click adventure SpongeBob game I would play, but not the first one to release. As in the previous years, this would be the third out of 4 PC games of SpongeBob, being the other 2 being Battle for Bikini Bottom, which came out a year earlier, and Employee of the Month, that came out in 2002. This game, compared to the other previous 2, would have big model changes between both SpongeBob and with SpongeBob. SpongeBob had a completely different model swap from what you saw in the 2003 from Battle for Bikini Bottom and the 2002 of Employee of the Month. SpongeBob's model would severely change. This game's story revolves around the same exact story of the movie, but with some twists. Like what we saw in Employee of the Month, this game revolves around chapters, but this time there's way more. There are 4 chapters in this game compared to the 4 we had in Employee of the Month, which makes the game slightly longer than what we saw in Employee of the Month. But in this game, there's no map feature. You just wander around to the areas. There's no map where you can just go to any area in that certain chapter as you wished, unlike an Employee of the Month. So in this game you can play as SpongeBob, SpongeBob and Patrick together, Mindy, and Plankton. This would be one of Plankton's first ever appearances to be playable in a SpongeBob game, and he would be playable a year later though in Lights, Camera, Pans. But this would be first ever time we get to play as Plankton in a SpongeBob game, and the only time we ever get to play as Mindy in a SpongeBob game. So, with this game, as far as the voice acting goes in this game, we have all the roles, except for a few. I don't think we got Dennis, King Neptune, or Mindy. Hey, but at least we got the French narrator this time, unlike an Employee of the Month. We got the French narrator this time, and as always in a SpongeBob game, you're always lucky to have Clancy Brown. Unlike in 2 SpongeBob games, or 3, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Truth or Square, and Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated all did not have Clancy Brown. But at least we had Clancy Brown back this time, and the French narrator. I don't know why, but Dennis and King Neptune's voice actors, I don't know why they couldn't voice, but they could not voice in this. David Hasselhoff is also not having a voice in this game, since David Hasselhoff was too entitled and he wanted to and get paid so much money just to be in this game, even though he doesn't really serve like less than 5 minutes purpose here in this game. You don't really see him that much besides maybe like 5 or 10 minutes out of this like 2 or maybe even 5 hour long game if you're playing on the console versions. So they wouldn't pay him high enough, so he decided that he would not be featured in the game, and they just referred to him as a mythical beast. So his name got censored with a dolphin voice. So, I don't know why I crashed here. I don't think it's the video, that's just, yeah. Mindy's voice actor is one I kind of don't understand. In the console versions, we didn't get King Neptune or Dennis's voice actors. So I don't know why Mindy couldn't come and voice act with Scarlett Johansson. I do not know why she could not voice act for Mindy in this game. Considering she was a voice actor in the console version, who knows? Maybe with the game and the movie, all coming out almost around the same time, well, she was probably really busy with all the voice acting. I mean, she's not just like a regular SpongeBob voice actor who only acts for SpongeBob. She's kind of like an actor in a bunch of other shows and movies. So she's probably busy with that, and that's maybe why she couldn't voice act in this game. Maybe the same reasons why we couldn't have Tom Kenny voice act the French narrator in Employee of the Month. And she was so busy just doing other projects, like other movies and other stuff that besides SpongeBob, as well as doing the voice acting for the movie and in the game, the console version of the game. And she has a lot of lines in the console version of the game since she appears in practically every single level except for boss levels and the first level, no cheese. So we unfortunately could not get Mindy in this game, but we were able to get the other voice actors. We got Tom Kenny for SpongeBob, Bill Figueroa for Patrick, Roger Bumpus for Squidward, Clancy Brown for Mr. Krabs, Mr. Lawrence for Plankton, like whoever voice acts as Karen. I can't remember who's the voice actor for Karen, but she's there. And we got Gary's voice actor. We got Tom Kenny back to reprise his role as Gary, and a bunch of other things. Goofy Goober kind of sounds weird, but I don't know what to call him. But I don't know if he has his correct voice actor either. I do know the guy at the bar. The guy who works at the Goofy Goober counter bar. I think he's got his correct voice actor, and other people in this game. This is a really good game. It's pretty simple and pretty easy. Just point around, collect items, and return stuff to get items back to people. Just going around collecting stuff and just pointing and talking to characters. That's practically it for this game. That's pretty much all you do. So this game has 8 chapters in them. The first chapter revolves around the areas you go in the first chapter are SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick's house, where SpongeBob needs to get ready for the big ceremony promotion at the Krusty Krab. But he needs to brush his teeth because you gotta look fine if you're about to be promoted. You need to look nice if you're about to be promoted manager of a new restaurant. So he's going around trying to make sure and get that toothpaste, since he was all out of toothpaste. He was trying to go get some. He was luckily able to sneak into Squidward's house, though, and borrow some toothpaste. So thank goodness for SpongeBob. The second chapter where you can go is mainly the Chum Bucket and King Neptune's castle, where Plankton needs to go and steal King Neptune's crown. Third chapter revolves around the Krusty Krab 2, and Goofy Goobers. Where SpongeBob needs to get to the paddy wagon and get the key and get back, and so she can make a journey to Shell City. Chapter 4 mainly revolves around King Neptune's castle again, but this time we're playing as Mindy and not Plankton. They're traveling around the castle trying to get. They're traveling around the castle and traveling around the castle, to get Mindy ungrounded, so she can go and help save SpongeBob and Patrick. Chapter 5 revolves around the trench. Not the trench of advanced darkness in Rock Bottom, but the trench. So that way SpongeBob and Patrick can get out of the trench and get to Shell City. Chapter 6 revolves around like the Fin Locker, some hot springs, a maze, and Dr. Louie's office. Dr. Louie's chiropractor. And we need to have SpongeBob and Patrick go and like help these protesters so we can bring equality to the doctors. So that way we can treat everyone, not just the people who have spines, but the people with spines. Yeah, it's almost kind of like sums up modern world people trying to bring equality now. It's basically what Chapter 6. Chapter 7 revolves around the beach, not Goo Lagoon, just revolves around the beach and a beach in Shell City, where SpongeBob and Patrick need to grab the crown and get out of Shell City before they dry up and die. Chapter 8 will just revolve around the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket, as we need to stop all of Plankton's mind-controlling bucket helmets. This game is really accurate to the movie, kind of. Chapters 1 through 3 is definitely accurate of the movie, but chapters 4 through 6 is where everything kind of goes downhill as far as the accuracy goes with the movie. Chapters 4 through 7, okay, so number 1, Mindy might have gotten grounded, but there was nothing in the movie where it was showing Mindy trying to escape out of the castle in the actual movie, because she was grounded. So that did not happen in the movie. Also, something that also did not happen in the movie, in the trench where SpongeBob and Patrick had to steal all those monsters we refer to as Now That We're Men in the actual game, in the movie game on the console. Well, there were no monsters in the trench. There were no monsters there, so that doesn't make sense. And there's also a hotel in the trench, which doesn't make sense, because who would build a hotel there? No one's going to be going there. And 2, it's just kind of a bad, dangerous location. So there are no monsters. The hotel wasn't there. The Hotel Deep 6. There's also, and all the people you see in there almost look like casual citizens you just see in Bikini Bottom. Oh, also, what we also can see in Chapter 6 is, in the area of what we like to call Shell City dead ahead from the console version of the game in Chapter 6, there is no chiropractor. No chiropractor whatsoever. And there was no protesters in the actual movie that you didn't have to help. So I don't know why that's there. And then, Chapter 7 and Chapter 8, though, is pretty accurate, though, of the movie. This game's accuracy didn't do as well as what you would say of the movie game on console. Well, the console version of this game had way more accuracy, as there's actual monsters in the trench. The trench looked more like the trench that you see in the movie. Also, the Shell City Dead Ahead is a more accurate representation of what we see in the movie. So yeah, this is something this game falls short on, but this is a pretty nice and pretty easy game. Also that something that happens in this game, the models in this game I think are pretty good. Good for the most part. They all look like they're accurate representation, except for that guitar guy who's sitting outside the Krusty Krab in Chapter 8. For some reason, he almost looks like he has no pupils in his eye, and his eyes are white, almost like something you'd see like in Herobrine or something like that. And so, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I couldn't see that. Also, another kind of issue with the model. In the movie, Perch Perkins was purple, but for some reason in this game, number 1, Perch Perkins also did not have his correct voice actor. Yeah, and plus he was also green in this game instead of purple. He should have been purple and not green. All the other models look pretty good. good, like Squidward, Gary, SpongeBob, Patrick. They all look pretty good. Also, Mr. Krabs looks pretty good, even though we don't really get to see him. Besides him frozen, we don't actually get to see the actual Mr. Krabs. But just from what I see from the past games, from the past games that I saw, all Mr. from the PC games, Employee of the Month, and Battle for Bikini Bottom on PC. And Mr. Krabs does look like himself, so that's we had a good Mr. Krabs model. Mindy looks pretty good. King Neptune, we kind of see him with his bucket helmet, but I think he looks pretty good. We don't get to see Dennis at all, but he looks, I think, fine. David Hasselhoff kind of doesn't look like David Hasselhoff, but that's okay. The Cyclops looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, the only model issues I have is just David Hasselhoff, the guy outside the Krusty Krab, and the Guitaro guy outside the Krusty Krab, and Perch Perkins are the only real model issues, but everybody else looks pretty good. So this game is really solid. I found this game like when I was really young, and I came back to this game in 2017. I remember one time I had some days off from school because of like a small storm that kind of like hit our area, which kind of caused schools to get shut down for a week. My house wasn't damaged or anything, but I was just sitting in my house one day and then I saw the mail come, and I got the movie game on PC. And I immediately got on my dad's old work computer to play the game, and had a lot of fun. And then after that, when I played the game several more times after that. I even played the game one time on my grandma's computer at their house. So, yeah, that was also pretty fun. I replayed through the game back in last year in 2021. I did do a playthrough of the game, and then I came back 2022 for spring break, and I did a walkthrough of this game. The walkthrough I did on this game turned out to be really good. And got a lot of views. The movie game PC walkthrough I have may have maybe the most viewed SpongeBob walkthrough I have. And I've got like 500 views, I think, on part 5, which is the most I've ever gotten on any SpongeBob. And the most I've gotten on maybe any SpongeBob video, besides maybe a Cosmic Shake video. So this walkthrough did pretty well. I think it has the most views out of all my walkthrough. The OG Battle for Bikini Bottom may have more because there's 27 parts where my movie game PC was only 5. So there may be more views for Battle 4, but Battle 4 did not get over, like, most of the videos did not get over 50 or 20 views. I think the most I've gotten on any other SpongeBob walkthrough, like in my Rehydrated walkthrough, my original Battle for Bikini Bottom walkthrough, was just like maybe 49 views, and these are getting, and all the movie game PC ones got over 100. Probably definitely my most viewed SpongeBob walkthrough ever. So I'd give this game probably a 7 out of 10. And 10, I mean, I wish it was more accurate to the movie. I wish we had some better models and some better voice acting. But overall, an amazing game. Also, something I'm also kind of surprised on with this game. Unfortunately, guys, this game's music is kind of copyrighted with Goofy Goober Rock playing, and for the credits part, I'm surprised they didn't get copyrighted claimed for that. So I think this is one of the only the movie game is one of the only SpongeBob games with a copyrighted theme, besides Rehydrated, which has the SpongeBob SquarePants theme, which is copyrighted. Also, as well, I think Cosmic Shake may be a game full of copyrighted music because of the soundtrack that we're going to see, such as Sweet Victory may be in the game and other music, which may be a lot of copyright claims, which may be tough for speedrunners or YouTubers who are looking to play through this game, and they have to deal with a bunch of copyright. So yeah. Who knows, maybe Now That We're Men or Goofy Goober Rock will hopefully make it as 2 very good SpongeBob songs. Hopefully they'll make it into the Cosmic Shake. But yeah, that'll be the end of my review here on this game. Please leave a like if you liked it, and let me know what you think in this game. And I'll see you all next time. This is definitely my second favorite PC game of SpongeBob. Man. Oh my god. Also, guys, you can't die in this game. There's only two scenarios where you possibly could die, like in the jellyfish, like in when you're almost getting attacked by jellyfish. Well, almost a jellyfish and jellyfish in chapter 2 and in this part of the game. One of the only two spots you can die in the game. There's not a worm reference. We were here earlier in the game. We looked at this earlier.